It may be hard to believe if you've never tried it before, but it only takes 2 ingredients, flour and eggs, to make homemade pasta. This version, we're gonna make it gluten-free and top it with a homemade meat sauce.
The pasta is so quick to make that we'll start with the sauce. Simple, easy to find ingredients make up this classic meat sauce. Begin by cooking the ground beef, breaking it apart with your spoon as it cooks. When most of the pink in the meat is gone, add chopped onions and garlic and season with salt and pepper. Stir it around a bit and let the onions and garlic soften. Then add the green pepper and carrots, again starting to combine everything well and cook until it's softened a bit. Now add the tomato paste, Italian seasoning, and sugar. Stir this very well to allow all of the flavors to combine. And let the mixture heat up for about 5 minutes or enough that you begin to notice the tomato paste getting a little darker in color. This allows the sweetness and depth of flavor to develop a bit. Finally, add the crushed and diced tomatoes, stirring to combine everything really well. Let this heat until it starts to bubble and then turn the heat down. At this point, the sauce is done, but if you let it continue to simmer covered on low, the longer it cooks, the thicker and richer the sauce will be. I usually let mine simmer for about 2 to 3 hours. And that gives me time to make the pasta. For this recipe, although I have tested it with other gluten-free flours, the only one I've found that produces really great results is the Cup for Cup brand. Start by making a mound of flour on a clean counter, then create a well in the center. Separate 1 egg and add just the yolk to the well, setting the whites aside for another use. Break 4 more whole eggs into the well and sprinkle on a little salt. Then use a fork to beat the eggs while gradually adding flour from the mound into the egg mixture. Eventually, this mixture will break through the flour, and just use your hands or a pastry scraper to continue bringing the ingredients together until a crumbly mixture forms. Then use your hands to knead the mixture together into a soft ball of dough. Cut the dough into 4 pieces, work with 1 piece at a time while keeping the rest covered in plastic. Make sure to dust the dough, work surface, and rolling pin with flour as you roll out each piece of dough. Roll it as thin as possible. I try to get it less than a 1/16 of an inch because it swells up quite a bit when you boil it. Then take a sharp knife, or I use a pizza cutter, and make slices approximately a 1/2 inch apart across the dough. These are rustic cuts. Don't worry about the lines being straight or even. What's most important for the best result is rolling all of the dough out evenly. Pile the rough cut pasta on a parchment-lined and flour-dusted baking sheet. Bring a large pot of salted water to a boil, add the pasta, and about 2 or 3 minutes later, using tongs, transfer the cooked pasta into the meat sauce. Give it all a good stir and then top with shredded Parmesan cheese and fresh basil before you bring it to the table.
Now, of course, I topped it with a homemade meat sauce, but you can always use a jarred sauce or just some olive oil and a little Parmesan cheese. But the pasta itself, it's just too easy not to try and way too good.
You can find the recipes for homemade gluten-free pasta and meat sauce at homewithshay.com. Shay Ryan, ABC Action News.